All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakakwadash. A double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. And as you see, it says, a new book reveals how the U.S. stole $600 billion from black Americans through unfair taxes post-slavery, right? Now, the thing is, all the tribes have been done wrong. Speaking into the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who consisted of 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. But I want to get into this, and I want to go into the comments so you can see how E really feels about you. It says a new book is set to unravel how the U.S. stole $600 billion from black Americans. Andrew W. Carl, professor of history at African American Studies at the University of Virginia, put extensive research in his book, which describes how U.S. bureaucracies created the nation's ongoing racial wealth gap by implementing a system of highly unjust municipal and state tax. So, matter of fact, I want to start off with this precept here. Head and tail, and then I'm going to get into another precept. This Deuteronomy 28:13, it says, and the Lord, Yahweh, shall make thee, oops, not this one, because Esau is the head and Jacob is the tail. Here we go. This Deuteronomy 28:44, this is the precept. It says, he shall lend to thee, meaning Esau shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him, right? And the ability to lend, it means you have the finances and or the resources to do so, right? It says, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail, right? And we're in this position due to the fact that we broke what the scripture spoke of, Deuteronomy 28:1, which are above, man, right? So these are the blessings, but due to our disobedience, Yahweh Shai put these curses upon us, right? So we broke, as we say right here, this is Deuteronomy 28:15, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power. And that's what we didn't do. We didn't hearken. We didn't listen. We were disobedient to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And that's why we have this here. He shall lend to thee, 44, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. I want to grab another scripture, because the scripture says the borrower is subject unto the lender, right? This is Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. And that's just the position that Jake is in, man. And that wealth gap is going to keep on, increasing, ultimately until Yahweh Bashim Yahshai comes back to destroy this system in which we're a captive under. So it says the book describes how U.S. bureaucracies created the nation's ongoing racial wealth gap by implementing a system of highly unjust municipal and state taxes. It says the book is called The Black Tax, 150 Years of Theft, Exploitation, and Dispossession in America. Shares statistics, studies, and tales of black Americans being cheated out of land ownership and pushed into poverty by racist laws and practices dating back to the Jim Crow era, right? Even when, even in this era of Jim Crow and years before that, you had something called sharecropping, which they said they freed Jake from off the plantations. But Jake was still living on them plantations or on lands very close to those plantations. And the best of their crop, had to be sold unto those same masters, man. And it's not generations that's far from me. I have a grandma who live in the South now. And she told me that she picked cotton. My great grandma on my other side of the family picked cotton, man. So this isn't as if it's 12 generations, 20 generations down the line. No, that's literally only 2 generations. From my father, or from my grandmother to my father to me. That's what I'm the 3rd generation right there in that line. And to my great grandma, it would just be my great grandma, of course, my grandma, my father, then me, which is 4. But nevertheless, This isn't far back, man. It says this history sheds new light on the forces generating economic inequality in America and the racial character of those inequalities. Right now, I want to grab another scripture, because ultimately, this is just Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai bringing out more information on how E has done us dirty, because it's past the economic level, man. And he said only 150 years. That in itself is wrong, man. You know, E has had the last, he had the kingdom of the Greeks, he had the Romans, and he had the rebirth of the Roman Empire. So that's three empires back to back to back, man. You know, and not even including, you know, the rest of the horrendous acts done unto Jake, man, throughout history. Right? So this is 2 Thessalonians 2. And I'm gonna start here at 7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, right? And Yahweh Shema is exposing Esau, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And he's doing that through his prophets, because we're bringing out the facts, you know, of articles. And the main tool to be used is the scriptures, the sword of the spirit, man. You know, because as the scripture says, the word of the Lord is sharper than any two-edged sword, dividing asunder both joints and marrow, man. So it's really through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, by using the words he gave us or left to us, to push this vibration out as the worms, to break down the foundation of this place. It says, the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right? Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. But Esau was able to hide all of this, you know, history, all of this information, because he's been the one in power. But ultimately, it was for an intended sign in time, that Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai will start to release this information, you know, so that this devil will be held accountable. That's why the scripture tells us in the book, I believe it's in Nahum, it says, the Most High will not acquit the wicked. Basically meaning what? Esau is going to have to pay for everything that he did. All that was seen and all that was unseen, man. It's still documented. You know, who knows all the atrocities really done unto us? This devil, he did some shit that, it was too, you know, grievous for him to write down. You know, he did that much wickedness in the dark. Look how the elites get down when it comes to sacrifices and all different types of wickedness. They don't write it all down. If we knew of every detail of how, you know, evil these men were, you wouldn't be able to stomach to read some of it. There's Obadiah 1 and 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Ultimately, Yahweh Shema Al-Shai is just exposing them, man. Now, I want to get back into this article and go into the comments a little bit. It says, the book pairs personal stories with rich details about municipalities. And we know that Esau has always, you know, tried to swindle Jake, man. The scripture talks about how covetous this man is. You know, he wants everything for himself. He heapeth all nations and all things unto himself, as the book, as it says in the book of Micah, man. He covet fields by violence. You know, his desires is hell, as the scripture says in the book of Habakkuk 2. So this is how this devil gets down, man. It says, starting in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, unfair tactics were used to doubly disadvantage black landowners by artificially inflating property value estimates for tax calculation, overcharging them for their land, and exploiting their inability to pay as a means to seize their properties. And look what he did to Gad. Put out all these different treaties on that Gad would receive this. He would pay him off a certain amount of money, even though Gad and Reuben seen everything of this land to be free for everyone, right? But he paid him off, so to speak, and then he raped, robbed, and pillaged. That's what the scripture says. The thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy, right? So not going, you know, too heavy in this. You can go into and read into his book if you want. But when you go into the comments, it says, I'm writing a book about how the government has screwed all citizens out of billions since government began. And they don't care about your color, only your money. Which is true, you know. You don't care who is in the way, but nevertheless, they're saying this to basically demean or belittle, you know, the bullshit that Jake has to deal with and still dealing with in this country. Hey, because regardless of whether they believe it or not, E don't have it as hard as Jake, man. The so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American have it way harder than E does in his own kingdom. Alone because E, you ain't under the curses. You know? That as the scripture speaks about that perpetual hatred that E has had for Jacob. A Edomite versus Edomite don't experience that same perpetual hatred that Edom has for Jake. You know, that tension isn't there for them, their own, as it's there for us. Right? Then let's see what other people have to say. I'm sure very powerful and rich privileged people continue to do this today to all Americans. They don't give a shit about the color of your skin if they're trying to steal from you. Let's see what this woman says. This story is not to divide because we've always been divided. Truth be told, the problem is that some people don't want to know the ugly truth exposed, even though they know that it's a fact, because it puts them in a bad light. And what she says, hey, the Lord always wins. Truth stands. Hey, and that's true, man. That's true. Now, the thing is, hey, of course, more than likely it was Edomites that was speaking like that, hey, concerning Jacob's oppression. Well, let's get a precept on that, and I'm going to close out. It's Psalms 73 and 8. Matter of fact, I'm going to start there at 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. And Jake has that mindset state thinking, oh, just because they see an Edomite in a high position, you know, with what you call it, not riches, but wealth. You know, they get envious of that, not understanding what that devil had to do to get in that position. And also not understanding that they're actually the chosen nation and the Lord power, man. It says, for there are no bands in their death, and this is how Jake sees them, but their strength is firm. They look at them as if they don't have any problems. Hey, they're still men upon the earth. Hey, the Lord plagues men how he wants. It says they are not in trouble as other men, right? They don't have to deal with the same issues as the common Jake. You know, the elites ain't worrying about paying bills. You know, they're not worried about taxes. You know, they're not worried about, who's going to take care of their children. They're not worried about where their next meal is coming from or if the lights is going to get turned off. You know, how they going to get to and from their destinations. No. It says neither are they plagued like other men. They don't have to worry about the everyday life or the cares of this life, man. They own everything. It says, therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain, right? And this same pride, trickles down from the highest level Edomite down to the lowest. And as you even seen in the comments, even lower level Edomites still feel as if the pain and suffering that Jake went through, we can't complain about it. But these be the same devils that speak about the hoax, you know, from the 48ers. It says, therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Oh, it's like a 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. E is never going to go through the hell that we went through. I mean, it's like it. He's never going through as much hell as Jake is going through in America. But the hell that's coming, he's about to have to eat that, you know. It says, therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Hey, so he don't look at the hell that you went through as if it's anything, because to him it's not an issue and we should just get over it. Hey, but the scriptures tell you that recompense is coming, right? The scriptures tell you, hey, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Hey, so Yahweh Shema Shai is coming back for vengeance, man. He's not coming to meet thee as a man, as the scripture says. So all that was done unto us, in the kingdom, it shall be done unto you, you know? So I just wanted to bring out this quick lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakakodash, and double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to you, I can bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.